The misuse of IDs for discounts is now a huge concern for the food serving and restaurant industry. Restaurant owners of the Philippines recently posted on social media calling out the widespread abuse of fake PWD IDs that are, quote, crippling the restaurant industry. Resto PH explained that the 20% discount mandated by law is not subsidized by the government, but is shouldered by the businesses themselves, thereby impacting employees, the food quality, and the menu prices. The issue could spell the difference between survival and closure, especially for smaller establishments, they said. The statement ends with a call for fairness, stressing the discount should help those it was meant for.
Let's discuss this issue with Restaurant Owners of the Philippines, President Emeritus Eric Teng. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Hello, good evening.
Okay, Eric, can you give us an overview of the gravity of the situation? Like, how much do businesses lose from fake PWD IDs? And I guess what triggered the discovery of that so many are actually using fake PWD IDs? How did you figure that out?
Well, we've been seeing, first, thank you for having us. We've been seeing fake PWD cards since before the pandemic, but until the formation of Resto PH, none of us got together and talked about our common experiences. And before, it was just a few per day. 2 years ago, we noticed that the PWD discounts were now accounting for 5% of our sales. And recently, late last year, when we held another discussion, it was over 25%, and with some restaurants reporting 30%. Wow. So clearly, it has gone up by 5-fold. So this is significant because it now will force restaurants to raise prices or let go of people. Price should be the real persons with disability.
Oh dear.
Who have been raised just to cover discount expenses.
Eric, just to set the context as well, can you tell us how many restaurant owners Resto PH represents? How big an industry group are you?
We are over 200 owners, but that represents a few thousand restaurants in the country. And we also try to help other restaurant associations in other parts of the country, other cities, or other provinces and other regions. So we see ourselves as a group who are only trying to be of service to the restaurant and F&B industry.
Eric, I'm just curious, like, what have you guys done? I know you have a group, so you obviously probably meet and talk about this particular gripe for a while now. Were there any concrete action plans that you guys decided on? Who do you call when you have these problems? And were you guys heard at all?
Oh, yes. We've been having dialogues with our mayors. We've had dialogues with former Secretary Abalos of the ILG. And recently we had a hearing with Senator Gatchalian and Secretary Rex Gatchalian of the DSWD. And we're very happy that Senator Gatchalian has seen the massive losses in tax revenues. Right. By his estimates, it was over 88 billion pesos. And by their estimates also, potentially up to 8 million fake PWD cards are in circulation. The population of persons with disability in the Philippines is actually less than 2 million. So that's it's easy for us to now believe our own assessment that more than half of the cards we see being presented at our restaurants are actually fake.
Eric, when you say it is a fake PWD ID, do you mean to say that these are IDs not issued by government, by LGUs? Kumbaga, pinagawa lang ba to sa Recto? Ganong fake?
Or kasi ni Senator Gatchalian, nababenta daw online, 1,500 to 2,000
or is it fake declaration of disability?
Right. It's legitimate
like,
PWD card, but they don't really have
they're not
disability.
Or they don't have a disability. Or both.
Actually,
okay. let's wait
I
for
think he's,
Eric to.
The lower.
Oh, there we go. Eric, can you say that again? You kind of froze. It's a bit choppy.
Okay, my apologies. Recently, we have seen fake cards being sold on Facebook Marketplace for as little as 150 pesos. Probably that's a very bad fake. Normally, they're selling for about, I think, 300 pesos up to 1,500 with the booklet. But actually, the danger is it can actually be printed by anyone at home with a printer. And the problem here is that it's so prevalent that they're getting better at making these fakes. Before it was easy to spot, and I don't want to share all our trade secrets how we spot
We won't ask you to.
fake cards. But we do see a lot of inconsistencies. The most usual is the serial numbers of several people for their card are identical, or some will have. We are presented with templates or samples of, let's say, cities like Quezon City, Manila, and they have very different designs. So sometimes the Metro Manila or Manila design card is being used to know a city. So it's very easy to spot. Or the LGU code is not the one that it.
2 days ago, Eric, the
Yes.
DOJ said. Sorry, are you there? Can you still hear us? Hi, Eric.
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay. 2 days ago, the DOJ said no need to verify with the second ID. No, when PWDs are using their cards. How has this impacted you guys? We also know that they did release like some sort of a new PWD card. Have those helped at all, or it's early days yet?
The DOJ, we agree with what the DOJ has expressed in their opinion, that there should be no need for verification. And we would like not to verify the card. We want, like senior citizens card, we don't verify at all because, for example, one look at my face, you know I'm a senior citizen. But for persons with disability, that's not going to be apparent.
Right.
It's always apparent. But when it's apparent, we give the discount right away. They don't even have to present their card. However, our stand is not for fighting verification. Our stand is, can anyone really tell us to give discounts to fake PWD card holders? That fake PWD card being presented, how can we give discount to a criminal? How can we give discount to such fraud? There's also a tax implication. There's also revenue implication for the cities. So, like Quezon City gave us instructions recently to verify the cards. So that's contradictory to what the DOJ has expressed. So we hope that there's some sort of reconciliation for the DOJ to understand. Our point for verification is to weed out the fake cards, not to deny discounts. Because generally speaking, when in doubt, we still give the discounts. It's when we see obvious fakes or when the PDAO officers or LGU absolutely declare that, hey, that card is a fake, don't give discount to this person, that's when we stop giving the discount.
I just wonder where you got the 2 million figure of the number of PWDs in the country. Is that the official number? We also asked what are the common declarations for PWD. Parang marami raw ay psychological and mental disability. What do you say to that?
The number one that we see is visual. The second is psychosocial. The third is orthopedic. So for visual, you might ask why we have these numbers or figures earlier. No, according to the NCDA or the National Council for Disability Affairs, they're the ones who told us that it's under 2 million population of the Philippines who are classified as disabled persons. But as you've seen in our own experiences, a table of 10 people, suddenly all of them are disabled people. So it's kind of confusing. You also asked earlier if the government has done anything, like the DSWD, Secretary Gatchalian. They've already made the decision to create a unified ID where a hologram and a QR code will be present. That is easy for us to use because we can just now scan the QR code and pretty much determine for ourselves very easily if it's legitimate or not. The other concern, I just heard this recently, where a real person with disability went to their LGU and could not get their PWD card. It was very difficult for them. And somebody approached them and sold them a fake PWD card. And now that's really strange. Now you have a real disabled person forced to use a fake PWD card. That's just crazy now.
It is.
Eric, can you give us the sentiment of restaurants? I know that businesses are shouldering the burden of this discount, and not government, not any other agency, but restaurants themselves. Are restaurants willing to pay for this? Even if we're talking about the legitimate PWD or disabled discounts, are restaurants willing to pay? And can you give us, an idea of how taxes are when you give discounts? Are you getting exemptions of some kind just for government to sort of pay you back for the assistance?
Incentivize, yeah.
Because we also did hear of certain PWDs complaining that, of dodgy computations and even from like really big quick service chains at that.
Go ahead.
Well, how it works is the 20% discount. If it were 100% reimbursable from government, it would be in the form of a tax credit. That's not the case. I'm not a tax expert, and I'm always confused when my accountant explained this to me. But at the end, we pay for more than 75% of that discount out of our pocket. We can deduct less than 25% against our taxes. The other part is government actually loses the VAT because the VAT is removed from the computation. But we, the restaurant owner, because we have input VAT, we now do not have the VAT to claim against from sales to PWD discounts. So it's very confusing. I think we might be the only country in the world where the welfare system is funded by the private sector. And yet when we ask for protection, it's been very difficult, and it took a very long time before government took notice and made some actions, and we welcome that now.